Hi, welcome back to Crafting Some Ambience. I'm Kerry and I do miniatures and craft videos and art videos and trips out and about, just anything that brings joy really, anything that makes us happy in the week and is quite nice. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. Thank you so much if you've subscribed and are returning to the channel. If you're new and you enjoy what I'm doing here, please subscribe and watch some more. I recently went to York Dollhouse and Miniatures Fair, and one of the stalls there was the amazing Jane Harrop. She's fab. I'd already made a video of one of her kits in 1/48 scale previously. That's in the miniatures playlist. I'll link at the end screen. I'll put miniatures as a playlist so you can find that. And when I had a little chat with her on a stall at York Dollhouse Fair, she was so lovely. I didn't tell her about the channel because I always get a bit of imposter syndrome and I felt a bit too timid. But I told her it was my first time there, so she gave me loads of tips about how to navigate my way around and make the most of the day. She really was a lovely woman. And while I was there, I got one of her 12 scale kits, and my dollhouse is decorated quite older, but there's nothing wrong with giving your dollies the occasional, mod con. Although a 1973 Decca single standard television may not be all that mod of a mod con. So I have painted my pieces beforehand, because for once I'm going to take my own advice and learn something and paint before I glue, because otherwise the glue dries and looks unsightly. I also took the advice in the instructions of painting this inner ridge black, ready for the screen and things to go in. So now everything's dry, which is another thing that I hardly ever wait for properly. Right, so I have to position the front piece centrally on top of the rectangular white card spacer face down. So like that. Take the two end pieces, stand on the long narrow edge and glue. So I've got wood glue here, just standard wood glue, and so see. Yeah. And a cocktail stick to be a bit more accurate. I got that tip from the wonderful Little Bits and Pieces with Julie Warren, because up until that point I hadn't even thought about cocktail sticks. But it really does allow you to apply the glue exactly where you wish. I went a little bit high there. That's it. Because otherwise it's not only control of where you're putting the glue, but you're putting too much on and it splodges out everywhere really. Also, old piece of card, like Julie always says as well, so thank you very much Julie for all the tips and tricks you give to all of us miniaturists. I love Julie's books as well. So if you take anything from this video, give Julie Warren, Little Bits and Pieces by Julie, a follow, and check out Jane Harrop on her website. So we've done those pieces. So now we do the same with the top and the bottom. Okie dokie. I really love Jane's instructions because not only is the wording super clear, but also there's visuals, so you've got both, because I am, with being neurodiverse, a very visual thinker and learner, but also sometimes having the words as well, it just helps even more, doesn't it? You know, if you're not quite understanding one way, you will with the other, you know. So it really is catering to everybody's different style of learning, of understanding, of communicating. And I think that's brilliant nowadays, and I think people should praise and express gratitude a bit more for that, because it's not always been the case, has it? You know. Okie dokie. So Faberuni. I'm going to get this clean cocktail stick, and where the glue's wet, I'm just going to run it along. Another tip from Julie Warren. Very clever lady. Yeah, man. See, so even with a little bit more control, you can still sometimes be a little too generous and have a little bit coming out. But if you clear it away, you can make a nice tidy edge. But if you leave it to dry, it's damaging the surface otherwise. To get it off. Lovely. What little's left will dry clear now, so we're okay. So we need to glue the knobs on. For once, I have tweezers. Hey. So I'm probably going to go for the bigger knob first. They're nice and silver already as well. You don't have to paint them, because Jane thinks of absolutely everything. She's fab. and so kind as well, and generous with her knowledge. It's lovely when you meet someone who you really admire and it ends up nice. I'm just doing the big double knob. Did anybody else have a TV without a remote control growing up? We did for a bit. And as usual, the youngest member of the family turns the channel over or turns the volume up and down. Which wasn't too bad for me because I was into Lego, so I was building my Lego on the floor in front of the TV anyway. Using tweezers for this is definitely the way to do it. And you remember the days when there were only a couple of hours on the BBC and ITV when they had kids' TV. And once that was gone and Neighbours come on, that was it. I have got a spare knob, and do you know what? I think I will put it on. So that it's not wasted, because if I try and keep it for something else, it's so small, I will lose it. Right, what are we up to next? Okie dokie. So let's see if my screen fits nicely without falling through the gap. So then they say put a little bit of glue on each corner, but not so much that you end up seeing it. Let's get that in place. Beautiful. And the level of detail as well with these kits are gorgeous, because you haven't just got the knobs, but you've got that typical, because they did have grooves like that with the speakers and things on your telly, and the screen is like there's a dome to it. And then trim around the test card. Do you remember the BBC test card? And again, let's check that it fits first. Yeah, it surely does. So again, woody bit of glue so that I don't end up with splodges. Sorry, woody bit is a very northern way of saying tiny bit. Sorry for my viewers who aren't located in Lancashire. Right, so there's the test card in. Oh, it's looking so dinky and cute. And now we're going to do the back, and it comes in two pieces. So first, a little bit of glue on these flaps. I will definitely be back to York Miniatures show. It was such a lovely time looking at all the various traders and different ideas. I've got so many ideas, and I'm gonna save up more next time because I had things I needed to buy. Right, so now what do we do? So now we glue this to the back like that. So we need to run a little bead of glue. I didn't do too bad with how much glue I dispensed as well today. Look at that. Oh, hey. Much more economical. I have noticed this time round kit building that I have learned things from other YouTubers, from trial and error, you know. Right, you make sure that your little air vents are going upwards, and we glue it on. Ooh! I am overjoyed. I do love it. Ah. And what did you used to watch on kids' telly? I used to watch Nightmare. I loved Nightmare. And Round the Twist. Round the Twist was ace. It was so funny. And when I was younger, I absolutely adored Button Moon and Pob. So you know, just imagine little Pob as we say, see you soon, have a lovely week, goodbye, and wave and then go like Pob. Right, that's enough frivolity for one morning. I'm going to go and do ironing and be boring and do housework and be sensible, when really we all know I'd rather be impersonating Bob. Oh bless. If you've never known the surreal, it's like if Salvador Dali did kids telly of Bob, look it up, you won't regret it. However though, Nightmare, I'd watch Nightmare now. Have a wonderful time, wonderful week. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the comments. See you next time. Thanks for watching, and thanks for supporting me. Bye bye.